Well, hi. I haven't done this for a few days, but I'm going to address the issue of Norman Mangosteen. I will address the reality of criminality. I will address the conscious awareness of Norman at this moment. You know, you can read the title. This is basically a live to draw attention to the seems like seems like millions of people that are still supporting Norman. There are groups, everybody wants to defend, and everybody wants to they want to support President Duterte and Bongbong Marcos, and they still support Francis Leo Marcos. Francis Leo Marcos is a lie. It's a dream. It never happened. Okay? It was a social media scam, and people still support it. I've lost many friends. I've had some friends come to me and humbly apologize and say, "Sir, I'm sorry. You were right. Francis Leo Marcos is a lie." And I'm starting to rekindle these old friendships that I had. And I mean, I had some real intelligent people come against me because I exposed Norman. Now, it's not fair. It's not fair to reality. It's not fair to your children. It's not fair to Maharlika. It's not fair to President Duterte and Bongbong Marcos to support a fraud. It's not fair. So when will we just all get along and get back to normal? Because Norman is facing his guilt. Norman is starting to expose his remorse. Norman is starting to tell the truth. And Norman's personal truth right now is he is not Francis Leo Marcos. Norman identifies the value of his birthright, his name, Norman Mangosteen. Norman is actually doing an honorable thing, and Norman is saying, "I'm sorry," to himself. Norman's crying. Okay? Norman is in grief because Norman knows he lied to millions of people. Norman knows this. But we still have all of these people that are just chismis in this cockpit of chismis, just lying, living their life in this lie. And, I trust that the NBI will give Norman the time he needs to repent in social media and say, quite frankly, I lied. I never was Francis Leo Marcos. I'm sorry for my crimes. Please forgive me. I'm sorry I did not feed 95% of the people I said I did. That was all a scam to develop a social media image. Don't expect to hear the details from Norman because Norman is being advised by the NBI. Norman is being protected by the NBI. Norman is a valuable witness to all the people that helped Norman over the past 20 years to be quite an effective scammer, con artist, land grabber, human trafficker. I respect Norman. I have deep respect for Norman. I also have grief for Norman. I feel sorry for Norman. I wouldn't want to face a lifetime in jail. Even if I did commit the crime, I would want to try to, man, if there would be anything I could do, can I please work? I'll work every day of my life. Give me public service. I'll do it. I would beg not to be in jail, especially with the enemies Norman has. Norman has enemies all over the world. Right now, there are career criminals that are shaking because they know Norman can tell. Well, I got You want to know who did my passports? You want to know who forged my passports? I'll tell you who did it. And I'll tell you the other people that do it in the country. You want to know where I got the Pacellis and the trumpet financial instruments, all the boxes and all the remnants of gold bonds and certificates and bearer bonds. You want to know where I get all of this junk? You want to know where I got all the fake gold bars, and you want to know where I printed all the fake US dollars and $5 bills and $10 bills and $20 bills? I'll tell you who did it. That's the game that's happening now. And it's my obligation to bring normality, a sense of normalcy back to people. Create an environment where we can reason together. You want to go live? Just let me know. I added you. You don't have to accept it. Nobody knows that I added you. It just popped up. My my goal is to bring people to a place of mind and a place of healing where we can all start thinking and seeing the truth from the lies, where we can come together and beat DDS and BBM. Mystical says DD shit and BBM like a bowel movement. Why? Because they're all divided and conquered. Everyone is against each other. Everyone is fighting each other. We had a Toledo warrior group or whatever the name of it was. One person made an accusation on somebody else, and then somebody else made an accusation of divide and conquer. Wow. We just need to work together. We need to be strong. We need to be happy. We need to be. And women. It doesn't matter. You know what, Becca? It doesn't matter. We're going to find out all the details. I could tell you facts that would blow your mind, but it would hurt the prosecution. And it would hurt the defense for the people accused. When you go to court, it's like having a battle between countries. One general is not going to tell the next general what their secrets are, because it's the goal and the obligation of the battle for one to win. Norman has a defense team that is useless. Gucci bags and Prada and Bucklock and this INC. Some soft men, okay? They know they lost because they cannot defend a man that is admitting that he is a criminal. You know, the truth is, the truth sets you free. I thought he was used by the opposition. No. Norman was used by a syndicate, a criminal technology-driven syndicate to promote pogie, gambling, casino games. You're starting to see where it all comes together now? You wonder why so many fake Rafi Tofu group pages were put together? You wonder why so many people had Francis Leo Marcos pages? You wonder why there were so many games and so many activities going on during lockdown for people to make money? Gcash, wow. Cash App, wow. So many scams, so many cryptocurrencies, so many gambling, so many lotteries, so many ways to make money. Who makes money? The people who host this. They made millions from a suffering nation. Right? Because what was the suffering nation doing? The main idea of a lockdown household, a breadwinner that could not go to his job and earn, his main idea is how can I earn from home? Because the Philippines is not a nation of beggars. The Philippines is a nation of people that have honor for the most part. Oh, you have your fair share of scammers and beggars, so many millions without discipline. But the main people that carried the economy, you know that vibrant economy you had before this pandemic of COVID-19 hoax, the bullshit lie. Cover your face. That economy that you used to have with the provincial desperation between the imperial cities and the provinces, that wage disparity. I might be using big words, but somehow, somewhere, people will reason with me. These people were at home looking for a way to make money. So, what happened? The syndicate took advantage of the social media mileage, the idiot, Francis Leo Marcos, the great fake pretender, the self-admitted liar, Norman. They took advantage of this guy, and they made millions for 3 months. And they're still making money. But bad boys, we're coming after you. What rhymes with ding dong, dong, bong? Use your mind. I'm not going to go any further with it. But people with a high-tech IT staff created very shiny games and interactive experiences online where you download an app or you play it on Facebook and you spent that money hoping you could pull some money in. How many raffles, how many lotteries, how many people scammed the victims of the pandemic? The biggest target audience was the collective mass of people that came online thinking that they were going to get a handout from the fake billionaire. That's how bad this is. That's why I am here now, to bring an open eye, open thinking choice to DDS and BBM. Don't look like an idiot. Don't support a fraud. Norman Mangosteen has admitted that Francis Leo Marcos was a lie. Norman will be what we call state's evidence for the courts, the prosecution, and the investigating teams that have been following him for a lifetime. There are members of the NBI that went up in the ranks, starting off as an agent and now a chief. One of them is the handsome man of the hour that you see playing the guitar, the NBI agent that is so poetic and so handsome. My God, Sherry, even I drool after his manhood. And I'm not gay. He's just very attractive. He's an example. There is a very positive aspect to what's happening with Norman in this case and all this evidence. We can collectively create healing and rule of law and the apprehension of hundreds of scammers that have been stealing, killing, and destroying in the name of Yamashuto's gold, the gold of Marcos. There is a flourishing industry in the Philippines of fake instruments of financial gain. Fake. I will show you some of them. There's a whole industry of people that create fake documents, fake passports, fake IDs, professional grade. Norman carried the ID for Francis Leo Marcos even into a race for public office, and he was not even smart enough to know that he didn't qualify because he wasn't the right age. But the Electoral Commission, COMELEC, did not recognize the forged documents. The Philippines is a nation of professionals, a nation of people that have passion to do what they do 100%. If it is criminal, they do it well. If it is legal, they are the top professionals in the world. The Philippines has the best nurses, the best doctors, the best educators, the best CPAs, the best professionals sought after around the world. Aircraft engineers, civil engineers. The Philippines has provided professional grade people for the world. And the Philippines has also produced some of the greatest scammers that ever lived. Multi-generational printing houses that print documents, and they create lies that greedy people around the world buy into. And yes, I'm saying the victims of most of the scams are idiots. Because this is the average scam. I'm going to show you. I'm just updating my other account. And I'm going to show you right now what some of these financial instruments that Norman used to sell worldwide at a great discount. I'm going to show you what they were. They would take and create a leather-bound box. Looks like a book for in a library. They would age it, put gold leaf lettering and fake serial numbers. These instruments, these boxes, these financial industry standards, known as Pacelli's, the great trumpets of wealth. Oh my goodness, bearer bonds, gold certificates. Artifacts worth trillions. These families are professional grade scammers. They know what to do, how to do it. They know the verbiage of the industry. But the problem is they're not in the financial industry. To sell or possess these instruments of wealth, you must be a registered clearinghouse of financial institution grade commodities. Now, this is how the scam works. These boxes here, it's a variety of boxes. They come sealed. This is one set. Okay. They have different names. I'll show you what they look like up close. They date back 100 years, 200 years, 1913. Okay. You see, and they take a picture of a newspaper to verify that it's a real photo. They sell these opportunities. This box might contain $1 trillion worth of contract. And Norman would sell this type of shit to people all over the world. People that have a lifetime of trying to come up on someone else. The only legal ownership of this type of artifact is banks, central banks, royal families, countries. This is worth millions, but it's a fake. This is the kind of shit the bankers used to use to measure, stamp, identify, and trade the global currencies back in the turn of the century, the 1800s. And for some reason, the fraudsters, the con men, the liars of the Philippines have used the legacy and the legends of the treasure maps, Yamashuto's gold, the hidden treasure of Ferdinand Marcos. Really? Are you stupid? This is just a small inventory of items that millions of people are trying to get their hands on, because idiots around the world believe that they can get one of these boxes or many of these boxes worth billions and billions and billions and trillions. And then they can be a billionaire or a trillionaire and they could save the world. This is actually like a religion. This is just like a religion. It's all lies. It's all lies. This box right here could pay all the debt in the world right now. These Chinese Republic bonds could pay all the debt for the Philippines instantly. But they're fraud. They're based on documentation that's in the vaults of the central banks all over the world. It's illegal for a normal human to have this kind of shit when we're living in a world controlled by central banks and oligarchy. So Norman would sell this type of stuff. Most of the time he had that fake gold bar that he'd hold with one hand. Okay? It was bronze. It was lightweight. Gold is a very dense material. Norman could not have held the gold bar like this. He could hold it at his waist like this. But it's so heavy, he could never hold it with one hand like this. It's bronze covered with a gold leaf. You can go to a hobby store and buy real gold tin foil. It's very fragile. You have to use a brush to put it on. You clean the surface of the fake gold bar and you wrap it real carefully with a brush. You brush on this gold paper and it sticks almost permanently. Norman handled one of his gold bars so much that the gold leaf was peeling off and he was still using it to sell as an opportunity to idiots around the world. Now, you see, the problem with this type of shit is if you have something that's worth, okay, just as an example, if this is worth 1 million in the public market, if you can buy this for 1 million and you own it for 1 million, if Norman would go online where all the people are, where all the greedy people are, all the stupid blind people are, most of Norman's victims were stupid. Norman would take this $1 million item and he would say, for you today, because if I try to sell this, I will go to prison. I'm not supposed to have this. But I can send it to you with the ownership documentation. I can send it to you for $5,000 if you send me the money today. That's the average scam that Norman did for years. Then he just graduated to land grabs and human trafficking, and when he found out he could lie and make people believe that his name was Francis Leo Marcos, wow, then he really stepped up. Worthless checks and, well, I am Francis Leo Marcos. The reason why I can't pay my motel bill is because they froze my bank accounts. One lie after another. Norman is tired. Norman can finally rest. Norman doesn't have to run and hide anymore. I feel sorry for Norman. There's people watching right now that know Norman for most of his life. They were part of Norman's family. Norman was part of their family. They tried to help Norman. They took all of his fraudulent documents and they hid it from him. They took his little gold bar and all of his toys that he used to make money lying online as a con man. They hid it from him. And Norman did like this. Ah! They had to give it back to him. Okay? The problem is we're living in a plastic world. And DDS and BBM will prove it to you. How many hundreds of thousands of DDS and BBM are still praying for Francis Leo Marcos? How many DDS and BBM are starting to be angry with the Malacanang? How many supporters of Bongbong Marcos and President Duterte are blaming the political system for putting Francis Leo Marcos in jail? How many people are divided and conquered in their ability to be a man or a woman of solidarity, to stand united for the future of Maharlika? By the way, that's the Philippines. We're living in a time when confusion is the standard operating procedure. Insanity is the motive operandi, it's the MO. It's your operating system of life. Insanity. The official Merriam-Webster dictionary definition of the word insanity is doing the same thing over and over, again and again, expecting different results. That's wrong. We should make mistakes and learn from our mistakes. We should make wise choices. We should not live in the dome of wisdom. We should not be wise and dumb, double-minded, speaking lies and the truth at the same time. We need to be singular in our motivation to be men and women of courage and honor and mercy and love. We are divine. The Creator lives in us. The Creator is not a God in the clouds on a throne. I am God. We are the Creator. We are the beast. We are hell on earth because we live a lie. This Francis Leo Marcos experience is an example of a lie. Just because a man did this and this and this and this, and just because he bragged and showed his arrogance and his ignorance, over 1 million people showed their solidarity for a lie. Over 1 million people. And the numbers reach into 3 million between Facebook and YouTube. There were almost 3 million die-hard Francis Leo Marcos supporters overlooking the lie that was in their face. Norman was having a blast. Norman was getting the most attention he ever had in his life, and that made him feel good for a season. Norman was able to be the big boss on the scene. And going to bring that bag of rice here, and this, I challenge you. I'm so stressed. It's just feeding all these people. My financial is being stressed. This Jesus Christ and Francis Leo Marcos and Howard Hughes. Howard Hughes, diba? Okay, can we please wake up? Can we get back to normal? Before Norman introduced everyone to Francis Leo Marcos? Can we learn to mature and grow up? Can we take the scales from our eyes and take our coconut closed brain? Can we open our mind and learn the truth? Because only the truth will set us free. Honestly, all of you that support Francis Leo Marcos, all of you that bashed us, because we were bashing him. I was calling him a baklak. I was calling him a liar. Oh my God, every day, every night. I did that for a reason, to create pressure, to create an opposition. It worked. He's in jail. The liar has repented. and he will continue to try to redeem himself. Because to be honest with you, Norman does have a good heart. Even though he is a brutal victimizer, even though he's a liar and a scammer and a rapist and human trafficker, he was never alone in his crimes. He always had people that assisted him. And now he can redeem himself. Norman can be the man that stands and points the finger at all of the evil in the Philippines, so the NBI can stop it, so the victims can get some type of justice, so the Philippines can have a good image, so you can move on and grow. So maybe we can come together and face this pandemic, this hoax. Take off your mask and tell the Malacañang, tell President Duterte, hey, wake up. The DOH doesn't even care about us. What about Davaxa? Uh-oh. President Duterte, you told us 4 years ago, if you ever died, the CIA did it. President Duterte, is the CIA controlling the Malacañang? President Duterte, why are we having these issues with Glenn Chong and Bernard Chong? And whoa, can we please be accountable? We are the government. You are the government. You're the boss. President Duterte and Bongbong Marcos and Vice President Lenny serve you. The power of agreement will move the mountain. The truth will set you free. Not to be Filipinos, to be Maharlikans. Not to be a federalist nation, but to be Maharlika. To be independent. To resurrect that drowning, dying Silk Road and Belt. So you can reach out to Xi Jinping in China and say, okay, let's be the hands across the South China Sea, so Xi Jinping can reach to Putin and create that triad of power against the oligarchy, the Western powers, the Illuminati. It's the end of the world. It's the New World Order. This COVID-19, this vaccine that you're going to take, it's got something called a microdot in it, a RFID chip, cryptocurrency. You already have a one world government. What the hell do you think the United Nations is? You already have a one religion. What the hell do you think monotheism is? Islam, the Vatican. They are one religion now by contract and deed. They already have a capital of the world. It's in Kazakhstan. It's called Anastasia. When will you listen to the facts I give you? Some people are anointed to bring the truth. Some people will beat the battle drums of waging war against lies like Mystica and me and JR and Sherry Salvador. Some people are here for a reason, so we can all grow and change, so we can all take that straight and narrow gate, that path of reconciliation, so we can enter into the millennial reign. Remember? While you have an M on your hand, you marked, you bought with a price. You are the Garden of Eden. You are the season of change. And it's happening now. Only one mind, one accord, reasoning together. Even if you have to leave your family and sell everything you have, stop your beholding slavery and ignorance to the world, your repetitious idolatry, your covetousness. Everything you fight for in the Church of Jesus is Antichrist, because Jesus doesn't want you praising him. Jesus wants you to live like he lived, living epistles read of men. This is my commandment, that you love one another, so your joy will be full. Do no harm. Mercy, forgiveness, integrity, honor, courage, love. Never fight evil with evil. And that's what DDS and BBM does every day. You fight evil with evil. Therefore, you're evil. So, you want to shout at me now? 2,000 years, religion is a lie. There is no God. There is a Father, a Creator, has no name. Our Father, our Creator, does not have vanity and ego. I am God, worship me. Our Father does not desire our worship or prayers. Our Father desires our relationship, our unity. Our power is in our heart. It's all about a relationship. So what say you? Who are you? Are you my friend? Are you my enemy? If you're my enemy, get from me. I desire people like me, one mind, one accord. I desire people that do not have a desire to be above me, under me. I don't need followers and worshipers. I need men and women that agree with me. We're the answer. We're the created remnant. We're the voice in the wilderness. We're the man and the woman on the rooftop, on the mountain, speaking to the masses. We're the living example that will save the life watching you. You are living epistles. You are the only book people will read, because we all lead by example and we all follow what we desire. So when our desires are truth, peace, love, happiness, mercy, that's heaven on earth. Okay. Norman is a major part of this wonderful fabric of humanity, where repentance and unity can begin, where healing can start, where we can all start to see and think again, with the passion of a child in our heart, with the mind of our Father guiding us, with the courage of truth that will be our honor, our buckler. Don't live by bread alone, but live by your deeds and your actions. Plant the seeds of life. Grow your own food. To thine own self be true. Love yourself. Be proud of yourself. Forgive yourself. Redeem yourself. Be you. And heaven will manifest. Because we are heaven on earth. Okay. Nobody's coming to save us. There's no devil. The church invented the devil. Our Father in heaven did not create hell. The church did. In the last 900 years. Okay. And that picture you have of Jesus on your wall, his name is Rodrigo Barzaga. All right? A member of Caesar's family. So wake up. Your redemption is now. It's your choice. I love you. Listen again and again and again. Simple words. I'm sincere. I'm not lying. We're created for such a time as this.